boom, boom, boom. Chickity, chickity, chanka. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little edition of the daily Manchester United transfer roundup show for you. Oh my days, another day, another absolutely gashtastic, disappointing day in the transfer window for United. What can you say? This is absolutely gashtastic, my friends. We're going to get into it all, but just want to say thank you to everybody that's been waiting in here, waiting for me to start. Shout out to all you legends for stopping by. Let's see who we've got in here, actually. We've got Griffo Chaz, what's going on, dude? Jonathan Gallagher, Absalom Williams, Smokey Breen, K-Am, G-Wolf United, Sandeep Barrage, Hunar, Robert Pouchon, Ryan Burberspin9, Brandon C, Cindy Collector, Raymond Moore. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me today for today's show. Please do smash that thumbs up button if you have not done so already. I'm clean shaven. I'm knackered as well. I didn't get up until, well, not that long ago, to be perfectly honest with you. I couldn't sleep last night. I was literally up at like 9 a.m. So that sucks. But there you go, I'm here anyway, guys. You can see I look like a bit of a mess, but I'm here to do the show. So shout out to you all for getting in here. Hey, Kabaki HD says, think Premier League. Nice one, mate. Neil Duffin, yes, lad. Adebayo Fawaz. Absalom Williams, hello to you, my friend. Matt Rush, the legend himself. Sandeep Badash, Tony Shields. Ellie. Everyone, look, guys, thank you so much for stopping in here, right? Where do we start with this steaming pile of mundungus? Because that's what it is. I mean, I really just don't understand what the hell is happening at Manchester United's window at the moment, why we can't get these players in, but let's get into the news anyway. So look, the big, glaring, stinking, intolerable, disgusting, horrible news is basically that Sergio Reguilon is going to Tottenham. That's basically the most disgusting news that we could have hoped for, and that's what's happened, yes. So Sergio Reguilon's going to Tottenham, everyone. It looks like that is the case. I mean, look, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted this morning, a few hours ago anyway, saying, Justin, Sergio Reguilon to Tottenham, here we go soon. The agreement has been reached on the last few hours with Real Madrid for a €30 million fee. Reguilon agreed personal terms with Spurs and accepted to join also after talks with MUFC. Only paperwork's to be signed. For fuck's sake, lads and lasses, we've missed out on this guy. This is a calamity move from Manchester United here. Now, okay, a lot of you are going to say, and I agree with you to an extent, I really do. A lot of you are going to say, look, we don't want a player. Why the hell do we want a player that wants to go back to Real Madrid in a few years' time anyway? Why the hell do we want a player and develop a player and then let him go for a cheap amount of money with a buyback clause? Why the hell would we bloody do that? Well, I'll tell you why, because United have got a piss-poor freaking squad in certain areas. And somebody like Sergio Reguilon on a short-term deal would be amazing to bring in and bolster our options there. And do you know what as well? It's not even necessarily about that. It's not even necessarily about developing him and sending him back and all this shit. Yes, he might want to go back and play at Real Madrid one day. Yes, Real Madrid might only want to get rid of him with the potential of a buyback in the contract. But you know what? That's up to that bald potato Woodward to change their bloody minds then, isn't it? Like, of course, you're not going to get him for the same amount of money that Spurs are offering for him when they're offering the fact that you can buy him back in a couple of seasons' time. United are understood to have gone in with an initial €20 million offer with no buyback clause. Are we taking the piss out of teams these days, you know? So, I don't know what we expect on that one. We're not prepared to bend. We're not prepared to adapt to a different situation. United, of course, we don't want to be developing talents and giving them to other players. But we could have had a good player for a few seasons. That's my style on it. I know a lot of you guys disagree, and why the hell do you want a player that doesn't want to come to United anyway? He had the opportunity to come to United, but he obviously clearly wants to go back to Real Madrid in the future. He is a Spanish lad, that's where he's come from. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world. Can you really blame him for wanting to do that? Does that mean that he would be a shithouse player for United for 3 seasons before he went back, or 2 seasons? No, I don't think it does. I think he'd still be trying his absolute bloody hardest to impress in the Premier League for United. So I don't really understand the basis for that, because I think we could have got ourselves a good short-term player there. Look, it doesn't make the most of financial sense, I'm not going to lie, but it's not really a gamble. You're going to get the money back from Real Madrid at a later date anyway, the buyback clause, probably for a few million more. So it's one of those, isn't it? It's like, it seems like we've dropped the ball on this one. Tottenham obviously came in there, though. This is the thing. Tottenham are a tiny little small-ass club. And the problem with Tottenham is they've got that Melt Jose at the helm as well, who is a bit of a draw for certain players because of his reputation. They've got great players in this Spurs side. End of the day, though, You have to question Sergio Reguilon as well. Like, that's it, fair enough. The more I think about this, the more I just think, this guy's a twat then, isn't he? If he doesn't want to come and play in the Champions League for a massive club, a huge club like United with some of the talents that we've got on our side now as well, he's an absolute human tip, my friends. It's as simple as that. Why the bloody hell go and play for Spurs in the Europa League, mate? You've made a good choice there, Reguilon. Not. You've had a nightmare, son. But anyway, I don't even think it's about Reguilon making the choice. He's already agreed personal terms with United. He wanted to join United, to be fair. It's more the fact that our board were unable to reach that agreement with Real Madrid for the buyback clause and the potential of a offer match clause in the contract as well in the future. So look, it's our board being unprepared to move and unprepared to bend. It's also Real Madrid being stubborn, but it's also the fact I know for a fact this player would have been available to Manchester United on a permanent deal. He had agreed terms with United. He wanted to come to United. Sure, he might have wanted to end up back at Real Madrid one day. But if United were prepared to pay the extra money to incentivise Real Madrid to let him go now, without a buyback clause, then we could have probably got our man. That's how transfers work. You have to compensate the club for losing their potential star player in the future. And if you're going to compensate in maybe 40 million, something like that, 15, 20 million more than Tottenham might have got you your man. Is that good value? I mean, that's another question. But I'm just saying we could have got this lad in. But we're not spending the money. We're tight-fisted as ever. The Glazers, Woodward, sucking the life out the club. Do us a favour, lads and lasses. I can see there's a couple of hundred of you in here already. Please do us a favour and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. That will help this stream out a sick ton. Also, just thank you so much for getting in here, everyone, and getting your thoughts and opinions in. Let's just duck in quickly. Joe Ratcliffe, how's it going, mate? He says, Zaha for 200 million, mate. It's a steal. We've trained him up for a few more years and don't think Ollie's got a daughter. Oh, no. There you go. I think the best destination for Zaha, personally, would be West Ham. Reunite with David Moyes. No, I hear what you're saying there, though. Look, I actually think it's a good option, not for 200 million, but I'd actually take Zaha at United right now, considering we have got pretty piss-poor options in that area. So I'd absolutely take Wilfried Zaha back at United, but nowhere near for that kind of money, mate. But good to see you, pal. Thank you, everybody who's getting in here. So, yes, let's just talk a little bit more about this deal with Sergio Reguilon to Tottenham then, because there's a lot of different reasons why he's chosen Tottenham, or why Real Madrid, of course, chose Tottenham over Manchester United. It's majorly down to the fact that we didn't want to develop a player and let him go back to their football club with a buyback clause in a couple of seasons' time. I can understand it in one regard, but at the same time, we are in need of some players. Okay, wing-back's not the most important position for us right now to strengthen. Centre-back and centre-back, CDM, right wing, I'd say they're more important, but I wouldn't have turned down the opportunity to get Sergio Reguilon like we seem to have done on this one. But look, Fabrizio Romano's also gone on to say Tottenham have conceded to Real Madrid both clauses they've asked for Reguilon. Buyback and also preemption. So Manchester United have always refused any clause to bring back the player. It was the main issue. So that's what it's fallen down on. We always knew that was going to be a big bone of contention for United. We don't historically do that. That's why we didn't get Erling Haaland as well. We miss out on good players in the short term because we're looking at the long-term picture. Fair play if you want to say that's great and that's great forward planning and respect the club for doing that. And in one way, I do. But also, with this moment in time, United are not one of the top echelon clubs in the world right now. We're not up there competing for the Champions League necessarily, even though we're in it this year. So we need to try and improve in the short term as well as the long term, which is why I think all of the signings and all the activity in this window has just been generally piss poor from United. We've got Van der Beek's a good player, I get that, but the other areas of the team that are crucial to improve, we just haven't done that at all. So we're basically having a complete shithouse mare this transfer window, lads and lasses, as far as I can see it. And look, fair play to this Reguilon Pratt then. If he wants to go and play in the Europa League for Tottenham, like I say, do one. But I still think the chances are he would have preferred to play for United. It's just that United were unwilling to accommodate Real Madrid's clause in the contract. We were unwilling to move. And that's why we've lost out on a really good player here. Potentially a really good player. He's not a world beater, but we've gone over it. He's 23. He's got into the Spain squad. He's just won the Europa League with Sevilla. He had a great season. His stats are brilliant. So, yeah, we could have had a really good attacking fullback there for not very much money. But in the end, we've just absolutely Billy bottled it, my lads and lasses. Get your thoughts and opinions in then. We'll just jump into the comments and we'll have a little bit of chat about Reguilon quickly, see what you guys are thinking about it. But also, we'll go into all the other topics that we've got to cover in this video as well. So shout out to you all for stopping by. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you're pissed off with Manchester United's transfer window at the moment. Smash a freaking 1 in the live chat. Right, okay. Cresswell Singh, he says Reguilon is not just a prat. He's a non-United prat. You're right about that, dude. He's not just a prat. He's a bloody M&S prat, this man. You're right. If Carlsberg did prats, that's the sort of prat we'd have. Soulboy420 says, we only want Sancho, just pay the money. His shirt sales alone will pay for himself. Good comment, Soulboy. We'll get into that a little bit later in the video also. Leonardo Di Stefano says, deadline day deals for last-minute panic signings incoming. Probably the case. Lots of ones coming in the live chat here. Everybody's pissed off. I'm not surprised. Anthony Marcel, hello, he says, pig with the shave, looking fresh, my G. Yeah, man, well, I had to do something today. I'm feeling like an absolute mess up. As I said, I went to bed at like 9 a.m. Josh Killeen says, I'm pretty sure he supports Spurs. Well, who would support Spurs? What's the matter with these people? Why would a Spanish lad support Spurs? Is he off his tits? Hunar says, get Tellez. Reguilon wanted the buyback clause in his contract, which means he wouldn't have come to United for the right reasons. Move on. Very good point as well. Like, he clearly does want to go back to Real Madrid, but he did want to come to United in the short term, as he'd already agreed personal terms. But that also is a factor. You have to look at what the player wants. And if the player does want to go back to Real Madrid in a couple of seasons' time, then screw that guy, really. But I still think we could have had a good player for a couple of seasons. I keep using this comparison. It's not really fair because it wasn't the same situation at all. He didn't have a buyback clause, but would you have not wanted Ronaldo between the ages of 18 and 23 and then let him go? I think you would, but this is different because it's Reguilon and it's 2 years. It would probably be only 2 seasons before you lost him. Because essentially what they would have is they would have a stipulation in the contract which said, you can't buy him back for a certain amount of time, obviously. You can't just do the deal and then 2 days later Real Madrid come knocking on the door, oh, we want him back. No, you can't do that. It would have to be like there'd be a cooling off period basically of a couple of seasons where you just could not buy him back. But then as soon as that was gone, Real Madrid could just come knocking and bring him back. So they are essentially letting him play for Tottenham so they can develop him and they can, of course, help him get certain game times. By the way, I mean, shit move by Real Madrid. I'm not being funny here. Shit move by Real Madrid here. If they actually want their player developing, sending him to play for Spurs in the Europa and under Jose Mourinho, really? Do you really trust Jose Mourinho to play your player? Do you really trust Jose to develop him properly? Not saying he can't do it. He said himself he has developed a lot of talents in the past that people don't give him credit for. Fair enough, but I don't think that he's necessarily going to get all the game time over there. They've got Ben Davies, they've got some other options. Look, I don't know. He's a good player, isn't he, Reguilon? We'll see what happens. But the fact is, I wouldn't want him to go into Spurs if I was Real Madrid. I'd have let him go back to Sevilla or whatever. I wouldn't have let him go play under Jose Mourinho. That could be an absolute nightmare. So, yeah. Nice one, guys. Richard Olsen says, who's your first choice as our new left-back? Well, now, I said it was Reguilon, and I truly believe we were going to get Reguilon a couple of weeks ago because he followed a couple of United players on social media. He'd said as much. His agent and everybody we'd had dealings with and we'd agreed personal terms. So I truly thought that was going to happen. We didn't know that Spurs had been in for him also. And I didn't really see that being too much of an opposition either. Tottenham, Europa League shite. Who wants to play for those melts? But what it is he does ultimately want to go back to Real, I guess, and Real Madrid just will not part with him without a buyback clause. But United could have convinced them to part with him without a buyback clause by paying the money. So, I don't know. It depends which way you look at it. We don't really want a player who doesn't 100% want to play for United. I don't know if that's the case. Like I say, the main problem is with the club. Stephen Alexander 8, thank you very much for getting in here with your super chat. He comments, it's 2 seasons, cool off with a 15 million on top to buy back. Big ups, my guy. I randomly found you here, but I like it. Thank you, Stephen Alexander, mate. That's brilliant to have you on board. Yeah, if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the channel, guys. Get involved and do us a favor. If you're watching and you haven't done so, smash that like button. That's awesome of you, Stephen Alexander 8. You top lad. Really appreciate that. Yeah, look, you're right. I mean, it's not a fantastic offer for United in the future, really, because we don't want to necessarily develop a player and just let him go elsewhere. But actually, we've got that pudding lover, Luke Shaw at left back, and we have Brandon Williams, a right-footed left back in those areas at the moment. It's not really enough. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, if he gets injured, what are you going to do? Play Diogo Dalot? It's gash. It's not good enough, really. We do need a bit more depth and quality in those areas. But look, you've just meant, we've been talking about another option for United here. Alex Tellez, of course, a Brazilian left-back from Porto. Great attacking left-back. Somebody who we could probably get for quite cheap. I don't know how much it would be. There's some reports to say he could be as cheap as 15 million. But actually, I think it'd probably be more 25, 30 million. Rob Blanchett has come out today, a little while ago, or yesterday actually, this one says, Tellez is being shopped around and MUFC do like him. He's an exceptional attacking fullback with incredible stats. If that transfer happens, I think it'll be close to transfer deadline day. It will be a late swoop or nothing. Yes, we had a look into his stats the other day on the channel, didn't we? Quite amazing how many goals he scored, like as a left back. Don't really get that for Porto, 178 games or so, I can't remember now. 24 goals or something. Guy's been rinsing the goals in, and loads of assists as well. So in terms of an attacking fullback, he does sound like really a really good option. Especially now we can't get Reguilon. So we've got to turn our attentions elsewhere. We shouldn't accept anything less than a good, capable squad this season, which means we have to get these players in there. We've got to get a player like Tellez in now, because there's not a lot of options for United in those areas. There's certainly not a lot of options for us to go and get other players in those positions right now. We are being linked with a couple of players, which we'll also get into in a moment. But come on then, United, let's do the business then. We've let this run down until the last final bloody moment. Well, it's not even the last final moments of the window, actually, but the last few days before the games start for us. We've got Crystal Palace on the 19th. And if we're going to come up again, if we're going to smash Crystal Palace to pieces, then we could have done with adding a little bit more into our side in terms of competition qualities. Just right now, don't get me wrong, we're going to batter Crystal Palace, of course. But the thing is, like, going forward, we need these players. October is an absolutely filth month for Man United. We've got some filth fixtures in October. We need to be done and dusted in the next few days, in my opinion. And I know that's not going to happen. This is going to be a long, drawn-out saga of a window for United in every regard. But we do need to get some business done soon, whether it's Alex Tellez or a right winger that we can get in instead of Jadon, or bloody Jadon Sancho. Just get the Jadon Sancho deal done. Mrs. P. Cake Bandit with a super chat. And she says, legend Mr. P in the Bacon Brigade. Thank you very much for that, Mrs. P, you lunatic. Appreciate it. Everybody stick a cake emoji in the live chat for Mrs. P, or a love heart emoji, whatever, but get the cake emoji in there. So yes, what do you think about Alex Tellez then, lads and lasses? Do you think that Manchester United should go and make Alex Tellez our target for our new left back? Seeing as this Reguilon melt has regularly melted, then I would say we should move on and get Alex Tellez now. We were talking about this a little while ago anyway. We were weighing up the pros and cons. I liked Reguilon because of the season he's had. I liked him because he's 23, 4 years younger than Tellez. I liked him because he's just got into the Spain side and probably will get caps, whereas Tellez has only ever had one cap for Brazil. Doesn't really say much. They've got great wing-backs in those positions, so it's tough to get in there. Tellez is probably the more experienced, better player at this moment in time, in all honesty, especially if you look at the stats as well. I know La Liga, playing for Sevilla, it's a different animal to playing for Porto over in the Portuguese league. If you look at the stats, Tellez is a monster. So actually, yeah, it would make a lot of sense to go and get him. Smash a 1 in the live chat, everyone, if you think that Alex Tellez would be the man for Manchester United to go for in that position in this window. Or write a different comment with the name of the player that you think Manchester United should sign in the wing-back areas. It doesn't necessarily have to be a left-back, but we do need our wing-back. Nice one, Jazzman, Jim Joe Bobley, Viking Red, Jimmy Pavlovich, Aaron H, Jamie Low-Key with the 69, dude. Kyan Banahasham with the 1, R Kings with the 1, Kayan with the 1, Nicole Chung with the 1, Andy Chidoka with the 1. So most of you guys would be pretty happy with Alexander Tellez. I think he's pretty cheap as well. I do like what I've seen from him, which isn't a great deal, but just looking at stats and clips and things like that, he looks like a heck of a talent. 27, he's experienced, he's ready, he's literally coming into the best years of his career. So it does almost in a way, if United do actually go and get him, it would be a better signing right now, especially if it's permanent. So look, let's not calm down. Let's not get carried away. Let's calm down a little bit here. Let's get Alexander Tellez through the door, and let's stop melting around the gaff, to be perfectly honest with you. Wiggy says, looking fresh, pig. Thank you, Wiggy. Hasham Lakjal says, if Oli doesn't have much impact on the Glazers, they won't spend money on him. Well, this is what's being understood, is that he has basically held crisis talks. He's made it himself pretty known that he's pissed off with the lack of transfer movement in this window, and rightfully so. Like, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd be going into that boardroom, I'd be kicking the door open, I'd be putting on my mobile phone the Steve Austin 316 entrance music, and I'd be giving each one of those bitches in there stone cold stunner, lads and lasses. That is what he should do. He should go in there, no messing around, drinking the Budweiser, boom, kicked in the stomach, bang, stone cold stunner. Each and every single one of them. That's what I would like to see, but yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening really. Hey, how you doing, Ellie? Oh, that's not good. She says, I'm off. Feel fucking awful. I hope you feel better, Ellie. Everybody put a love heart emoji in the live chat for Ellie. One of the legendary mods of this channel. And feel better soon, Ellie. Thank you for stopping by. Right, okay, so yeah. That is pretty gash-tastic, isn't it, though, guys? Pretty gash-tastic news about Reguilon. Get your thoughts in. David Cock, he says, on 105 likes, you legends, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's smashed a like on it. If you haven't done so yet and you're just getting in here, smash that like button, lads and lasses, and that would definitely help this stream blow up. Yes. Anonymous, what's going on, Anonymous? He says, can't believe we missed out on Reguilon. I'm so angry and upset. Dude, I totally agree, man. I'm pissed off as well because we could have got this business done a while ago. And I'm pretty convinced that United would have been his preferred destination, even if it's a short-term deal. And I get that people don't want him if it's not permanent. But come on, the situation's changed at United recently. Why can we not get a player on the short-term deal? Why the hell not? I mean, it doesn't have to be a permanent deal. It could have been a loan. We've just seen him go to Sevilla on loan. Real Madrid would have been open to a loan option, I'm sure. Maybe they'd just rather get a permanent deal done with a buyback clause so they'd have to worry about it for 2 or 3 seasons, and they could just get him back as and when Marcelo retires. But realistically, United had an opportunity here to get the deal done if we were prepared to pay a bit more or accept their terms. And I know people disagree with me on this one, but I think we should have accepted their terms. Tottenham accepted their terms. He'd have come for us. He'd have been a full-blooded left-back. He'd have played hard. He'd have tried to, look at the way he goes about it. I don't think he'd come here and just sat around. He's 23. He'd have been playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. Great opportunity, platform, stage for him to go and do his thing. It would have been a great signing in the short term. I don't care what people say. It would have been a good signing. Matty the Rushmeister, thank you very much for the £20 super chat, you absolute nutter. You legend. Thank you, Matt Rush, the transfer guru himself. He says, great show all, just can't see the club not making any signings. The backlash would be huge. Matt Rush, thank you so much for that, dude. Yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, look, imagine if it got to the end of this window and United had only signed Donny van der Beek. That's not going to happen, is it? Because like you say, I mean, look, it was in January after we'd signed Harry Maguire, after we'd signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka, after we'd signed Daniel James, that Woodward's bloody house got fireworked by an angry mob. You know what I mean? So there is a point of a tipping point for Manchester United fans where we just say, no more. And we basically, of course, make a lot of noise, and they tend to listen to us, to be fair. It tends to be we have to get to that point of pure, unadulterated hatred for the Glazers again and everything and the regime. I mean, we should have that anyway, but you know what I mean? It's even more apparent when they're not doing the business in the window and letting us down in planning for the new season. So it becomes like a point where we just have to say no, and then the pressure gets too much for them, and the situation just gets really horrible. I mean, I don't know why these twats don't just sell up, to be honest, and make a profit and leave and get out of here. It's because they're milking us every single year for a nice tidy profit. That's the problem. Anywho, but yes, like I was saying, it hopefully doesn't get to that stage. I agree with you though, Matt Rush. Like, it's got to be a matter of time before some players come into this football club. We can't just leave Ole Solskjaer stranded this season with the squad that he's got, because that's what it would be, I think. I think Ole would do a tremendous job to get top 4 this season, based on what's going on around him, based on the other teams that are doing little bits. Carlo's Everton and Nuno's Wolves and Brendan's Leicester. Arsenal, of course, are looking a bit more likely to do better this season as well. Tottenham, who knows, probably they're shit, but, Jose's a melt and he's a dinosaur, but the fact is he could still get up there and grind out the results. They've got a great squad. You've got Chelsea, of course, strengthened more than anybody. Got to take them seriously. Liverpool and City are still going to be up there, thereabouts. So United are going to have their work cut out for them this season. Solskjaer will have his work cut out for him, even if we do sign the new players. I truly believe that. We just managed to get to 3rd last season. Think about how poor we were at the start of the year. If we'd have started the season like we started after Bruno came in, then we'd have been right up there challenging for the title. So there is that. That is obviously a massive plus. We did have a much better second half of the season last year than the first half. But why put him in a position to have a shit half of the season again? Like last year, we should have got Bruno in early. Should have had that creative spark from the start of the season. That way, we wouldn't have had such a shit start to the season. I'm convinced of that anyway. So it's actually really counterproductive to wait and get these players in late when you can get them in early and have them playing from the very start of the season. So I do think that our board are having a mare, Matt Rush. But I know what you're saying. We've got to get players in. Otherwise, there's going to be so much backlash. It would be unreal. Like, surely they couldn't even deal with the amount of backlash if this window ended as is with Donny van der Beek. So yeah, I feel on that one, dude. says we didn't finish that special pig. That's true. The last few games we petered out a bit. But you have to say, from January to the end of the season, overall, like if you look at our form, I think it was formed to maybe be like second or something from that table from Christmas. So it's kind of like, we did do some really good things. You're right, we did peter out towards the end of the season. All the more reason we need to get players in, and it's highlighting the fact that we just don't have the players there. We need some better players. We need some players like, look, when Luke Shaw got injured towards the end of the season, we didn't have Luke Shaw on the side. Our proper experienced left-back, who in my opinion is not one of the greatest in the world, but he's a good player. And then we had Brandon Williams come in, a 19-year-old lad having to play the last few games, and he was knackered out there. It's not really fair. So we do need some better options. We do need more depth. We do need more experience, more quality. This is a great young side. We've only got a few elder statesmen in the team, really. People like Matic and Mata, who will be going soon. We need to get some other experienced players in here too. Maguire, Bruno, yes, brilliant. But let's get a little bit more experience in there. Experience is key. It's great having a good young squad, but you do need a bit of experience in there. Nice one, guys. Thank you for joining us today, then. Let's dip back into your comment section and see what you legends have got to say about the Reguilon situation. Then we'll get on to the next topic, of course, the headline topic of the video. Thank you, Matt Rush. He says, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, matey. Yeah, if you're new to this channel, if this is the first time you watched it, smash that subscribe button, lads and lasses. Click the bell icon to be notified when we post live. We're doing daily transfer update videos at the moment, just rounding up all the latest in Manchester United transfer window, and also an evening show every night at 9:30 as well, doing the same. And there's been a lot of bloody breaking news, all of it gash, over the last couple of nights, so make sure you do tune in for that one, lads and lasses. Griffo Chaz says, apparently there's the biggest protest ever happening on the 27th. The most that will happen is they'll park in a disabled space and throw some grapes at the club shop window. Don't tempt fate, Griffo Chaz. I would imagine it'd be something more significant than that. But really, if all the United fans did say just a massive protest outside Old Trafford or something, it would make obviously massive news. It would be big news. It would be a terrible look for the Glazers, maybe they might do something about it. So look, if it wasn't for the coronavirus, I'd be getting myself up there and joining you lads and lasses on the 27th, but I ain't freaking travelling up there at the moment with all this shit going on, even though it's not that bad these days, but still, it's still pretty bad. Nice one. Okay, let's get on to the topic then. Thank you, Gabe's Cujo, for commenting. He says, Ahmad Traore will be a good buy. He's decent with the ball, great talent, young, left foot and strength. Top lad. Thank you, Gabe. Right, let's get into the news then, lads and lasses. It is being reported here, Manchester Evening News, a bunch of other resources have come out and said that Manchester United have perhaps tabled a bid and are exploring the possibility, it says here actually, of signing right winger Ahmad Traore from Atlanta. The MEN understands the Ivory Coast-born Traore, 18, is not seen as an alternative to Jadon Sancho, and United have contacted Atalanta amid competition from other clubs. That's BS, isn't it? If we're linked to this guy, he's a winger, of course he's bloody competition. He plays on the right-hand side for Atalanta as well. He can play either side, obviously, he is left-footed, but he's playing like that inside forward role cutting in left boot. So, so I think it's definitely a backup option for Jadon Sancho. Now, we might get him as well, because he's 18, he's a young lad. But the fact of the matter is, I think if Jadon Sancho, if that deal doesn't materialise, then there's every possibility we have to look for other options. And because there's no value in the Premier League for players like Adama Traore or Sarr or some of these other lads that may be attainable, there's not as good a value in the league anyway as there is in other leagues. Maybe this would be a player that we would definitely be looking at getting in here. But look, he's 18 at this moment in time. He became the youngest player at 17 years and 109 days to score on his Serie A debut in Atalanta's 7-1 thrashing of Udinese last season. So, that's pretty cool. Doesn't really mean jack shit. United are still some way from reaching an agreement to sign Sancho from Dortmund. Yeah. So this is the thing. We have been in for I was going to say Ismail Assar then, but no. What the hell? I was going to be in for that's. Oh, I mentioned him a minute ago. That's why he's in my head. We're going in for Atlanta right winger Ahmad Traore. MUFC are exploring the possibility. He's not seen as an alternative, but fact of the matter is he probably is, isn't he? He's a sly alternative. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. So yes, I don't know if you guys know much about this guy. I mean, just to give you a bit of a background, I'm going to have a look into his information here and his statistics and stuff like that. So shout out to you all for getting in here. Have your say if you know much about this player. Obviously, Atalanta, very impressive side last season, weren't they? One of the true dark horses on the continent. They did tremendous things, and yeah, I think that they are a very good team. And he seems like he was a part of it. Anyway, let's have a little look here. So check it out. Actually, I mean, look, he hasn't really played that many times for Atalanta. That's the thing. It's just a young 18-year-old player. It's another one. It's like this other guy we were linked to yesterday. That seems to me like a good young player that we could potentially get in the squad. Whatever his bloody name is, Uros Rakic, that's right. But this guy, he kind of seems like another good young option. But is this all we're doing at the moment, guys? I'm getting disgusted and pissed off, man. Amad Traore, who the fuck is that, man? I mean, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, really? Yeah, we're getting Adama Traore, are we? Well, that's sort of, we're going in for Adama. That makes sense. He's been doing it in the Premier League. He's a big physical boss. His assist stats and stuff like that are good. As an impact substitute, somebody to help Mason Greenwood along this season, brilliant. That would be brilliant. And then I click on it, I'm like, who the fuck is Amad Traore? And why the bloody hell are United linked with this 18-year-old lad? Now, I'm not saying he's not a great player. He probably will go on to be a great player. Fantastic, I'm sure. 18 years of age, already impressing, already doing some Billy bits out there. Look at his stats in the Primavera 1, whatever that is. What the fuck's the Primavera 1? Anyway, he played 39 teams. Oh, it's the youth league in Italy. Okay, right, well, who gives a shit about that? But anyway, 39 appearances, 12 goals, 9 assists. Pretty cool. But who gives a shit about that? Anyway, he's a young player, 18 years of age. He's had 3 games in Serie A, actually. 3 games in Serie A, scored 1 goal. That would be on his debut against Udinese when they thrashed them 7-1. So look, there's no real indicators of how good this player's going to be or what he could bring to the table for United right now, other than another good young prospect for the future. So I wanted to talk about it because it's probably an alternate to Jadon Sancho as well, like another good young option as a backup if we cannot get the Jadon Sancho deal and we cannot get any other deal done either. We'll get onto Bale, we'll get onto the other players here. But yeah, I thought maybe Adama Traore would have been the player that we were getting, but no. It's actually Amad Traore. What the bloody hell is that all about, guys? So Amad Traore coming. Possibly. Look, we don't know. We've made an approach from what we understand. We don't know anything about it. We don't know the prices involved at this moment in time. We don't know if it's more media PR bullshit spin in order to try and convince Dortmund to accept a couple of £1 million less from Manchester United, which is always likely, guys. It's always likely. So, yeah, we just don't know at this moment in time in terms of what players are realistically being linked with the club. We obviously knew the Van der Beek situation when that happened. That had some weight. We are officially talking to the club, but we haven't had a situation like that. Because just come on now, United. Stop it. This is a wind-up. Get the deal done. Get a business in. Get some players in. We need a centre-back. If we can't get Sancho, just move on from Sancho. Get that right winger in there. Get Big Adama in there. Get Big Adama Traore in there, son. If not Big Adama, there's other great options as well, man. Kingsley Coman, Bayern would probably consider selling him because they've got a shit ton of wingers. They just bought Sane, sorry. They just got Sane, Leroy Sane over there for 54 million. What the frick are United not buying any bloody players, guys? So, yeah, I mean, I just don't really understand why the hell Man United are having such a shit window. We should have done it a long time ago. We're linked with this guy. Do you guys know anything about him? Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that this guy is a good option for United. What's his name? Amad Traore. Not Adama Traore, no. Amad Traore. Hey, Primot, thank you for popping in and saying hello. You absolute legend. Appreciate that one, Primot. Hope you're having a good day at work, matey. Matt Rush, thank you, my friend. Jimmy Pavlovich, how you doing, Jimmy? Alex, he says, hey, Alex, he says, Sancho or nobody for me. I hear you, dude. Yeah, look, he is a stunning player. Let's get onto the Jadon Sancho business thing, guys. Let's get onto Jadon Sancho. We'll duck back into Amad Traore, whatever. But let's talk about Jadon Sancho because this is obviously the hot topic of Manchester United's window this year. This is the saga of the year. Last year it was Maguire and Bruno. This year it is definitely Jadon Sancho. And it's getting a little bit ridiculous, isn't it, how long this has taken. And I do think that maybe United will still get him, but there's also a good possibility that we have to move on to our next targets. 120 million is not good value for a player right now in this current climate. So to get other players in and get a few other players in a few different key positions might be better for United. So we've gone over the Sergio Reguilon stuff. Let's have a look at this Sancho business. So it's understood Jadon Sancho has communicated to the Borussia Dortmund board that if Manchester United submits an offer, he would then like to join United. So this is communicated from Fabrizio Romano's podcast. Here we go, podcast. So yeah, Fabrizio Romano has given us a bit more information there in regards to the communication that Jadon Sancho's had with Dortmund. So he's understood he definitely does want to go to Man United. And also United's board are understood to still be convinced that we can sign Jadon Sancho. So they think maybe there is a deal still to be done there with the Germans in getting Jadon Sancho into this football club. But I don't actually know, guys. You know, who knows if they're even going to accept a penny less than what they demanded. I don't know if it's even good value for United to go and get him right now. I mean, it is if you keep him over the period of his career and he obviously goes on and does what we hope he's going to go on to do. So it would be good value. He's 20. He's 20 at the end of the day. He's already getting 17 goals, 17 assists in 34 Bundesliga appearances. I'd say that's a pretty nutty set of stats. He's got a very particular set of stats. He will come to United. He will find a place in the team. And he will score goals. Hopefully that's the case if he came in anyway, but I just hope that we can get him taken off of Dortmund here. I hope we can get him taken. That's who we need, guys. Never mind the Glazer. Never mind. We need to get buddy Liam Neeson on the blower. We need to send Liam Neeson over to Dortmund and crush some skulls. That's what we need to do. We need to get Jadon Sancho taken and bring him to Man United, my friends. That's the only way we're going to do it. People setting up GoFundMe pages for Jadon Sancho these days. That's how shit our football club is, by the way. You get these deals done. So, look. There's no excuses from United's board on this one. This should have been wrapped up weeks ago. Chances are we'll probably have to go back right near the end of the window after we've had a few games in the league already with our tail between our legs and get Jadon for that money anyway. So we should have got it wrapped up a little while ago. Gashtastic. Viking Red says, Pig, buy Grealish, Ollie's choice, another F-up. Yeah, I mean, there's no value in the Grealish deal though, really. 70 million. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for Grealish, isn't it? He's a good player though. But yeah. It's a lot of money for Grealish, but with a club with a statement of intent would have gone and got Grealish this window, maybe, yeah. So I hear you on that one, dude. Also, Jadon Sancho has had... sorry, already read that one. Basically, yeah, it's a big issue with Dortmund here. If the window's shut and Dortmund haven't got a new player... and there's a problem. I mean, that's what I mean. It all depends. The time is running out, guys. Time is running out for Manchester United now. We've got to do something. We can't just peter out. We can't just duck out of this window and these negotiations and not get a good player. So, yeah, it's sickening. I mean, whether it's this young 18-year-old lad as an option at right wing, at least that's something. And then you go get a centre-back and a CDM and a left-back. At least that's something there to bolster our options and give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer something. He does look like a very good player, this young lad, but at 18, he's not going to be the ready-made player to come in. I mean, Greenwood's obviously going to do that mantle. The only reason we wanted to get Sancho is because at this moment in time, he's more developed, he's levels ahead. So this Atalanta winger, Armand Traore, as much as I think that would be a good signing for the future, and I hope it happens, it doesn't really do a whole lot to this squad right now, I think. Greenwood's still going to be a starting player there, which, he's a great player, Greenwood, but is he fit? Is he going to keep that fitness up for the whole 38-game season at 18 years of age? I would argue not, and I would argue that he's going to need rotation, he's going to need rest, he's going to need a player to come on but be just as effective from the 65th minute on. So somebody like him, somebody like Adama Traore, we've gone through all the different possibilities, but it is ridiculous, this Jadon Sancho saga. Let's just have a little live chat vote then, guys. Get your votes in the live chat. Oh shit, get your votes in the live chat. Oh shit, get your votes in the live chat. Smash a 1 if you think Jadon Sancho will be a red come the end of the window. Super chat. Why is that all delayed? There's nothing coming through here. That's bizarre. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, get your votes. And if you think Jadon Sancho is still going to end up at United, have a little 1 vote. Charlie MUFC FT says, yes, he is. Champ for show. Hello, Champ for show, mate. Get in there, my champ. Great to see you, lad. He says 1. Dizzy Red Devil Donald says 1. Good shout, Dizzy. Karen Singh says 1. Viking Red, 0. Gabriel Lopez, 2. Adebayo Fares, 1. Jimmy Pavlovich, 1. Jim Joe Bobley, 420. Nice one. Hafiz Jali, 1. Jamie Low-Key, 2. So I think most of you guys in the live chat here, you clearly seem to think that he's still going to end up at United, which I'm loving your optimism. I'm loving your positivity. Unfortunately, I don't really share that same optimism and positivity. I think there's a good chance that United bottle it out this window and do not get Jadon Sancho. I think it's a great chance of that. Come on, this is United we're talking about. Yeah, it's, you know, look at how we've done business in the past. The long, drawn-out, protracted sagas featuring Bruno, featuring Maguire. It's just a historical problem that we've got under the Glazer ownership and Woodward's chief executive role. Him being in that role and not having a director of football. It seems to be negotiations are long and drawn out. They're painful. We don't bend or move at all in terms of clauses in deals and things like that, such as Haaland, such as Reguilon. We don't accommodate the modern situation that I think United find themselves in. Remember, we haven't won the league for 7 years. We're trying to rebuild and do something here. Having a left-back round in the squad to help would have been a great signing, even for the short term. Nice one. Okay, so let's get your thoughts on the Jadon Sancho thing then, guys. Thank you very much. Let's make Canada great again. He says, agree, Pig. Not looking likely. Yep, not looking likely at all. You never know. It could still happen. I do still think United have a chance of getting him. Everybody seems to be reporting that this deal is still alive. Fabrizio and everyone here is reporting that he's made it fully aware to the Dortmund board and everyone that he does want to join Manchester United. So that's obviously a factor. Also, it's just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's completely understood to be besotted by Jadon Sancho and have him as his number one target. So that's a big factor. It's just really the money, guys. It's the money, isn't it? If the Glazers want to pay the money to go and get him, we'll get him. If they don't, then we won't. If there's no value in Jadon at 120 million euros in this window, I get that, actually. He's a 90 million pound player at this moment. So you might be better off going and get other players. Let's have a vote on that then. So now, based on what's happened, based on everything else that's gone on, based on Reguilon, based on losing out on players potentially to other clubs in this window, on the fact we haven't got a centre-back, we haven't got a left-back, we haven't got a right wing, what do you think is the best course of action for United this window? If you think we should just sign Jadon Sancho, smash a 1 in the live chat. If you think we should not sign Jadon Sancho and strengthen all the other areas of the team that we've mentioned, then press 2. Because I want to see what you guys think. Because there's not a lot of value in the Sancho deal. I'm not going to lie. But Quan Jones definitely thinks 1. Jadon Sancho's your man. Fair play to you, Quan Jones. Loving it there, mate. Adebayo Fawaz, he thinks 2. Absolutely not. Absalom Williams says, we just want a big bang on this deal, mate. These clubs will do it when they are ready. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. I mean, look, you'd get a big bang on this deal anyway, I think, especially if you got him in early. It would have a huge effect on the fan base and the team, I think, if you got Jadon Sancho in before the season started. But shout out to you, Absalom Williams, by the way, matey. But yeah, keep the caps locked off. Just out of principle, I'm not going to read caps lock's comments out of principle anymore. Because obviously, you know, they put their bold so they're bigger and I can see them bigger. But yeah, just out of principle, not going to do that. Anyway, nice one, guys. Jim Joe Bobley says 1, too many in the squad to register players. Good shout. We have got a few positions free in the squad, though. Certainly, we've already got the 7 shirt free. We've got the 19 shirt free. But I hear what you're saying, like in terms of the squads for the Champions League and all this sort of business. Sadakath says Woodward is red, not MU liver. I'm not too sure what you mean there. If you think he's a lily liver and he's got no liver, I'd say that's probably true. He is a potato at the end of the day. Becky Hope, how you doing, Becky? Thanks for getting in here, Becky. She says, get Woodward Glazers out this club. They only care about themselves. Us United fans are sick of them. Please, we need to sign more players. Shout out to you, Becky. Hope you're having a great day. And I fully agree with you. Get these Glazers out of this football club now. We've had enough of their stinking mess. I'm sick of talking about them, but really something has to happen from the United fan base now. A real massive protest, whether it is hurting them in the pocket financially by not buying anything, not cancelling every MUTV subscription, everything. Doing something like that, or having a mass protest outside the ground. I'm not saying people should be going and putting fireworks in through Woodward's letterbox like they may have previously done, no. But we need to have a protest. We need to make ourselves known. We need to protest. I was going to say protest with our feet. Because that's the biggest thing that pisses me off about this whole situation. When, you know, United fans, they like to go on about it, but in all honesty, it's easy for me to say because I live down on the south and I haven't been up there for years, but the fact of the matter is, you don't have to go to the stadium and support. You don't have to buy the tickets. You don't have to go there. If there was an empty stadium pre-COVID, obviously now it's sort of just the generalised thing. But pre-COVID, that would have been a massive statement. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? Okay, it would absolutely shit on your team in the short term out there on the pitch, I'm sure as well. Because can you imagine if the stadium was just filled solely with opposition fans and there was no Manchester United fans in there? Now the team's going to suffer. Everyone wants to support their team and watch them play. I get it. It's the team we love. We love the team. We love the football, but we don't love the owners. But if you really love the team, if you really have that best interest of the team in heart in the future, and you want the Glazers out, then how you could have protested would have simply been by having an empty stadium. How bad does that look, that the fan base is that disgusted that the majority of the stadium would have been empty? A club like United. Problem is, nobody did that. Nobody did that. There was talk of this mass protest and this walkout. About 3 people did it, guys. So look, it's one of those. It's like, do people really want to get behind a protest like that? I don't know. I mean, if they did, then they would have done, but they didn't. Viking Red says, no one is boycotting. You're right. Mrs. P Cake Bandit says, legend Becky, take care, lovely. I'm just heading off. Nice one, Mrs. P. Everybody stick that cake emoji in there for Mrs. P. Have a great day, Mrs. P. Ahmed Adrissa comments, United has got money to bring in Sancho, has not got the money to bring in Sancho to Old Trafford. Maybe you're right. I wouldn't have thought we have got the money to bring in Sancho to Old Trafford right now. I can't see any other clubs apart from Chelsea really spending like 170 million in this window. And that's what we're asking them to do, actually, by signing Jadon Sancho and Donny van de Beek, is spending 159 million. So it's a lot of money, isn't it? It is a lot of money, and this window is dodgy, man. This window's we don't know the future of this club. I mean, it's United at the end of the day. We should have cash in reserve. We're a huge entity. But with what's going on, it's like everybody's tightening the strings. The potential for money coming in is gone to what it was a couple of years ago. The revenue streams are completely down in every aspect of the club. So, yeah, not good. Thorvin comments, yeah, let's boycott matches. Well, that is the issue, though, Thorvin. Like, now, it doesn't make a blindest bit of difference, does it? Because simply put, there are no fans in stadiums at the ground anyway. Becky Hope says, Pig, you got to buy tickets, paid fuel price to get ground, then you buy something, club shop, buy food. It's one expensive trip now to see you. Oh, you're so right, Becky. Why do you think I've not gone up in about, when was it? 7 years or something like that? Because the last time I went, it cost me hundreds of pounds, and it was a shit game. And I live down on the South Coast, so that's the reason why a lot of people don't go. They've been disheartened. And it's not that we don't support the club or love the club, it's just that we can't financially afford that sort of shit, really. You can't justify it in this day and age. Football, the money in football's gone mad. The ticket prices, all that, it's a disgrace anyway. We all know that. But certainly if you can hurt them by protesting outside stadiums, hurt them by not buying their shit, hurt them by voicing on social media constantly your unrest and your disdain for the Glazers' ownership, protests, petitions, everything. And if you can hurt them by not going back to the games when the football does come back, then that's going to send a very clear message to the Glazers that we want them out. And maybe they would be better off selling the football club to somebody that would actually do a good job with the club and make themselves a nice tidy profit in the meantime as well. Because yes, this is like they're like a landlord, aren't they? That's what they are. They're like a landlord. They've got this asset, Manchester United. That's like their flat that they're renting out. Basically, that's how it is to me. And somebody's paying their mortgage. Basically, somebody's paying their mortgage. That's what it is. They've got renters in there, and they're paying the Glazers' actual mortgage. They bought it with debt, and the renters are paying it with the mortgage. So what we actually want is somebody to come in and just buy the house outright and do it up, because it's getting dilapidated at the moment. Basically, what's happened is we've got like some Scouser crackheads living in this house. This is all a metaphor, by the way. And we've got some Scouser crackheads living in the house, and they've completely dilapidated it. They've spray painted, they spray painted all sorts of bullshit, Steven Gerrard titles 0 on the wall and stuff like that. There's like pentagrams all over the floor and shit like that. It's crazy. And that's what's happened. We've mortgaged this property, and the Glazers are the landlord sucking the money to pay their rent. That's how I sort of look at it. What we really need is someone to clear that mortgage, come in, buy the club free, and then just do it up. Make it a paradise. Make it the potential dream home that it could be. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for getting in here, buddy, with your super chat. He says, I think people are underestimating Greenwood this season. He scored 17 last season and will likely score 25 plus this season. Come on, United. Nice one, Alex. Thank you for your super chat and your comment there, dude. Yeah, look, I don't know if anybody's underestimating him, because we all think he's going to be one of the best players in the world in the future. I just think that because of his age, because of the fact that it is a bit much to expect an 18-year-old lad to come in and be that right-winger first-team starter for United week in, week out for 38 games a season, it's a bit much. Now, he's definitely good enough. I don't think Solskjaer would have given him that number 11 shirt if he didn't have big plans for Greenwood. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, the fact is, worst-case scenario, if we start games and they all stay fit throughout the season, but that's a big if, with Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, that's pretty damn tasty. That front line is penetrative. That front line is awesome. And it's only going one way. It's only getting better. So you're right, mate. And if he plays the amount of games that first team starters should be playing in this window, in this season, then you're right. He's probably going to get some ridiculous amount of goals like that. Because 17 goals in the amount of appearances and game time that he had as well. A lot of these goals and a lot of these games were times when he's just come on for the last period of the game and he's had an impact and he's done something. So, yeah, starting these games, getting all those game times, developing. I mean, physically he's developed. He seems like such a great player. He's going to be one of the best in the world in the future. I honestly believe that. So, yeah, you're right, Alex. What a player we got there. Getting somebody else would make a lot of sense. That's why maybe the Jadon Sancho deal. I know you said Jadon Sancho all or nothing. That should be a new Amazon series, by the way. Just following the potato Edward Woodward round. Jadon Sancho all or nothing. New transfer shit. New transfer shit show. Jarvis Cocker says, hey Pig, I just joined, did I miss the run? I mean, maybe a little bit, but not really, mate. I've got a bit of a sore throat. I'm just keeping it low-key today, mate, you know. But anyway, Alex, I got it all out yesterday in last night's show, to be fair, guys. Listen to it there if you want to hear a rant. But anyway, Alex, he says, I think people... oh, yeah, I've already read that one. But thank you, Alex. Greenwood, though, yeah, you're right. He's going to score more goals this season. We still need somebody else to help him, though. Like, whether that's Jadon and Greenwood sort of being the backup for the front three players in all areas, or it's Greenwood taking that starting berth in the side, and then we have, like, bigger Adama Traore in the squad as well to come in. So I don't think Daniel James or Pereira or Lingard or Mata, any of these guys are suitable to play in the wide areas for us if there was an injury issue to Mason Greenwood. That's my concern. Like, if Rashford gets injured, if Martial gets injured, if Greenwood gets injured, we're screwed. We're screwed if those guys don't don't keep fit for the season. That's why Liverpool are so lucky, really, because they've got players that stay fit all the time. They don't have necessarily the depth there. They've got good depth, but it's not like they can call on another Mane or another Salah, but they all stay fit. So that's the key for United, fitness. We had fitness concerns last season, which we will do, because we have an injury-prone set of players, from Luke Shaw's to whoever, you know, we've got a lot of injury concerns. We did have last year, in and out the side. We had McTominay, Pogba injured all out at the same time. We had to play Fred and Matic. Luckily, they performed. But look, we needed more depth out there in all positions. So yeah, that's why I'm saying we need to get another player in this window. But if we don't, you know, Greenwood's the man, we should strengthen in other areas. If we don't get Jadon, then we should strengthen in other areas and allow Greenwood to be that man. Simple as that. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in, by the way. Appreciate it. Please do us a favour and smash that like button if you have not smashed the like already. Leave a cheeky little like rating on it if you haven't done so already. That will help this stream out loads. Appreciate you all for stopping by and getting in here today and getting your thoughts and opinions in. Keep them coming, lads and lasses, you bunch of bloody legends. But I'll give you a little recap, everyone. If you guys want to recap right now of what's going on. Basically, United have had an absolute shithouse mare in this window, and Sergio Reguilon is going to go to Tottenham. Sergio Reguilon to Tottenham. Here we go soon. The agreement's been reached on the last hours with Real Madrid for a €30 million fee as a final fee. Reguilon agreed personal terms with Spurs and accepted to join also after talks with MUFC. Only paperwork to be signed. Piss poor, my friends. That's the news. Sergio Reguilon set to be a Tottenham player. That's the big news. Man United have missed out because we're not prepared to entertain a player with a future buyback clause in the contract. What a pile of steaming gash. But that's the situation as it is. Whether or not you agree with that, disagree with that, that's as it is. We're not getting Reguilon this season. He's going to Spurs for a couple of years. I think we should have got him in the short term. Some people disagree, I get that. But there you go. Also, let's get onto this as well, guys, just while we're talking about those shithouses Tottenham Hotspur. They're also getting Gareth Bale by the looks of it now. So, in all honesty, we've gone over this last night, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. Obviously, this video is about what it's about, but we want to just touch on the Gareth Bale news. Gareth Bale is an absolute shithouse. No, to be fair, look, it's United again, dawdling and not being prepared to get anything done. And like I said, I'm not bothered about Gareth Bale. He's a twat anyway. He seems like a twat. Go play on the golf course, you prat. You know, like he's obviously not got his priorities right over at Real Madrid anyway. Maybe if he comes back to Spurs, he'll be that player that he was before he left for Real Madrid, which was an absolute match winner, lads and lasses. When he was at Tottenham, he was a match winner. He was like the new sort of Ronaldo-type player that was coming through from the Prem. He was that good. That's why he ended up at Real Madrid. So yeah, you have to consider that he is still a great player, but you also have to consider he's not going to play that many games throughout the year. You have to consider he's an injury-prone melt. You have to consider he's a prima donna. You have to consider his attitude stinks in some regards. Okay, maybe the Madrid fans didn't treat him right and the club's not treating him right. Fine. But still be a bit more professional, I think, with a club that has given you so much success, 4 Champions League titles. He's given him so much success, you know. He should be a little bit more respectable with a football club like that. Not many players would have the career that Gareth Bale's had at a club like Real Madrid and won what he's won and be held in such low opinion by everybody at the club and the fan base, and for him to hold the club in such low opinion as well. When does that usually happen? Doesn't usually happen that, you know, maybe Roy Keane at the end with his United saga and all that, but it doesn't usually happen. It seems like he absolutely got a lot of hatred for Real Madrid there and vice versa. So he's want away, he wants to get away. I was never entertaining that as Man United's first option. No, it would have been the third, the fourth, the fish option, fifth fish option. The fish option because it stinks. But the fifth option for Manchester United would have been him in that position, in that window. Option number 1, it's Jadon Sancho. Of course, Jadon Sancho. Option number 2, Kingsley Coman. Option number 3, David Neres. Option number 4, Sarr. Option number 5, Ahmad Traore. You know, whoever that is. Ahmad Traore. Option number 5 or 6 or whatever, Gareth Bale on a season-long loan. That's what it was to me. So I'm not bothered about losing Bale like I am about Reguilon. I think Reguilon would have actually been a really good player for us for a few seasons there before Real Madrid bought him back. I could have lived with that. I know some people can't live with that. I could have lived with that. I think he'll be a good player and he'll benefit Tottenham having him. Tottenham will benefit from having him over the next 2 years. You know it. So why wouldn't we have wanted to do that? But with Gareth Bale, that guy's a bit of a twat. Do one. He had his opportunity to come to United back in the day as well and pied us off. Screw that guy. Who the fuck is that guy? You know, so I definitely don't not that bothered about Gareth Bale. Let him have him. He'll probably turn out to be, you know, he could turn out to be a great player for them and chip in with a bunch of goals and lead them this season. But chances are he'll probably be injured half the season. Chances are he'll probably cause a few issues and probably will be a bit lackluster. Those are the chances anyway. I know he's only 31 and he's still a good player, but he will be on that physio's bench at some point. You know it. You know it. So yeah, Gareth Bale, guys, what do you think about Gareth Bale? Are you annoyed that we lost out on Gareth Bale? Let me know your thoughts and opinions if you care or not. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that Manchester United should have signed Gareth Bale. Smash a 2 in the live chat if you don't give a toss that we didn't sign Gareth Bale. Hey, Mary Homeyard, how are you doing, Mary? Great to see you in here. Shout out to you and also Aaron, one of the legendary moderators on this channel. Hope you two are doing well today. Thank you. Matt Rush says we're on 169 likes, everyone. 69 dudes. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody that's smashed a like on it. If you haven't done so already, please do leave a cheeky little like on the video. That will help this stream out and help this channel out tremendously. So if you enjoy the show, if you want to support it, the best thing you can do is smash a thumbs up on it and get involved. Look at all these 2s coming in here. Lots of 2 votes in there. Yeah, Sham comments, screw Bale. Neil Duffin with the 2 as well. Absolutely, yeah. Sangoma, traditional healer, 2. Lyle Wilson, 2. Becky Hope, 2. I don't care. Jim Watkins, 2. Karen Singh, 2. John O'Denton says 1 and 2. You can't really have 1 and 2, John O'Denton, but I hear you, mate. You would have taken him, but you're not that bothered. I get what you mean. Yeah, look, it's one of those, isn't it? Who really gives a shite about it? Paul van der Beek, thank you very much. As Mr. P is a legend. Right back at you, Paul van der Beek. Cheers, matey. Jarvis Cocker says, agree, Gareth Bale's legs are gone. It's a reason why Real Madrid got rid of him. He's not all that. Dodging a huge bullet, in my opinion. Hey, fair play to you, Jarvis Cocker. Good shout, mate. Yeah, last thing we need is another injury-prone meltbag at the football club. I agree. Like, screw Gareth Bale, man. Yeah, it would have been nice. On paper, it sounds nice, but in reality, it's a nightmare. You're right. Paying somebody 400, 500 grand a week to sit around on the bench, injured, is probably not the best look for United this season after we just got rid of that Alexis Sanchez meltbag. Now, of course, if he does go to Tottenham, you have to remember that Tottenham are going to have a good player, though, and he could do bits there. Like, it could be a situation where he's tearing the league up again. I don't think it's going to be like it was back in the day, though, but I really don't. But still, you have to respect Bale. You have to understand he's one of the best players in the world over the last decade. He's not up there with the Messis and the Ronaldos, but he's certainly in the next tier. He's in the tier 2 with the Suarez's and the Neymars and the Bales, in my opinion. If you look at his stats, they're pretty sick stats. Maybe just slightly under those 2 players that I mentioned, but he's certainly in the tier 2. Tier 2 of the best players in the world over the last decade. Jesse Lingard says, give me a pay rise and I'll start playing better. Oh my God, Jesse Lingard. Can we give you a pay cut, please, to just go? I don't know. I would like Jesse Lingard to be sold this summer, but it's not going to happen. I mean, we haven't even talked hardly anything about players going out, apart from Chris Smalling to Roma, which may or may not happen at this moment in time. Hopefully it does. I'm pretty sure Roma still want him, even though they just signed another centre-back, but we'll see what happens on that one. The problem is there's not a lot of value for other teams signing our players. There really isn't. Like, there's just no draw for other teams wanting to pay Jesse Lingard 130 a week or Phil Jones 130 a week. Zenden Highland, shout out to you. I love the name, mate. I've never seen your name before, Zenden, so don't do me like that, Zenden, saying I've never given you a shout. I'm not sure if I've ever seen you in here, Zenden, but great name. Shout out, Zenden Highland. Nicholas Critchlow, thank you so much, mate, for becoming a member of the Bacon and Egg Brigade. Get in there, Nicholas Critchlow, my son. Thank you so much for that. Everybody stick your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji in the live chat for Nicholas Critchlow, who's just become a member of this channel. Not only a member, but a tier 2 channel member. Thank you so much, Nicholas Critchlow. That is going to get you on the post-match credits, my friend. Oh, yes. So thank you for that, Nicholas Critchlow, for the support, dude. Mary says, I just subscribed to the channel. Hey, Mary, thank you for getting in here and subscribing. That is hilarious. Ryan Berber says, welcome, Nicholas. That is brilliant. Yeah, nice one, Nicholas Critchlow. Shout out to the Critchlinator. Craig C says, notorious PIG, Piggy Smalls. We should go for Tellez now. We aren't getting Reguilon. How confident are you in getting us getting Sancho? Thank you very much, Craig C, for that, buddy. Yeah. So, Craig, I think that Tellez should definitely be the option we go and get. It's a no-brainer now. Go and spend the money. Get him on a permanent deal. He's 27. He's a good attacking wing-back, something that we could definitely do with. His statistics are brilliant. He could probably go and translate that over to the Premier League. The Portuguese League is very good. Look at Bruno tearing it over there. He's come to the Premier League. He's torn it up over it too. People don't give the Portuguese League the credit it deserves, really. It's a good league. It's not one of the best, but it's still a good league. I think it's a top, certainly top 10 leagues in the world. Teams like Benfica, Sporting, Braga, another big one I've forgotten, but there's lots of big teams out there. To be fair, it's a good league, and I think it's a good indicator if he's putting up those stats in that league that he could come and replicate some of that for United. So yeah, now Reguilon's off the table, or certainly looks off the table, certainly looks like he's going to Spurs. I would say absolutely sign Tellez. I'd say absolutely get a centre-back, absolutely get a CDM, absolutely get a right winger. But in regards to Sancho, I'm not that confident in getting him now. I hope that we get him. I think it'd be a great signing. I've changed my opinion on the situation a bit anyway. I kind of think with the value in the window at this moment, where there's not that much value for Sancho, like 120, that's ridiculous. That's like paying 150 million last year, just so you know. Everybody's transfer valuation's got to have gone down with every single football club feeling the pinch of this pandemic and the loss of revenue. So I think that you do have to consider that. Shout out to John Wong for subscribing as well. Yeah, if you're new to this channel and you haven't seen it before, what's going on with my hair, man? Then please do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate all the new viewers, appreciate all the old viewers too. Thank you everybody who gets involved with this vid. And also, if you haven't done so, smash that like button. So then, yeah, I don't know what I was just talking about. I've lost my train of thought there. Tikan Tan comments, Bale's legs have gone. He is not the same explosive, pacey winger he used to be. That's got to be a fair point as well. That has to be a fair point. He's definitely got to have lost a bit of that pace over the years. And when you're a player like Gareth Bale, I mean, I don't know actually at 31 if that's the case, but he is injury prone. Probably pull a hamstring if he tries to run full pace, That's the sort of situation he's in. But actually, he's still probably rapid as anything. But you do definitely lose a little bit of pace the older you get. And for somebody who was like that flying, speedy player like Gareth Bale, to be fair, he adapted his game over the years, and went central, even played centre forward and stuff like that. But really, his best days, I think, are as that flying, bombarding winger. Certainly when he was at Spurs, playing on that left-hand side, being that marauding winger. But latterly, playing inside and being a match winner up top, scoring the goals as well. He's just a special talent. He is. Like, I still think they're getting a good player there for the season. It's a loan. There's not that much risk involved though. Like when you sign a player like Man United did with, say, I don't know, Di Maria or somebody like that, where you're paying 54 million. I guess there's not that much risk because we still recouped most of that money back selling him to PSG. But there's still a transfer fee involved. Whereas with Bale, you might have to pay an upfront fee for Real, but it won't be much, couple of mil or if that. And then you're paying the majority of his wages as well. So Real Madrid will probably have to pay him some money to go and play for Tottenham because He's on a ridiculous amount of money, and I can't see them letting him go elsewhere and playing for another team if they're going to pay the majority of his wages. So there's no way Spurs are going to be able to stick to their current wage structure with Gareth Bale here. They're going to have to make allowances here, which is what United should have done with Reguilon, in my opinion. But they're going to have to make allowances. They're going to have to change their goalposts a little bit. They do have Jose in there, who does seem to force through these big money moves and has that pressure that not many managers do have to be able to get these clubs to convince and change their structures somewhat to get these players in. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that, even though Levy's one of the most strictest chairmen, it seems like. So yeah, I do think that they'd probably be able to get him and pay him a few £100,000 a week. It's not the thing that Spurs usually do. They don't really spend this money, but it's not much of a gamble because it's only a season-long loan. And if they're paying 400 grand a week to him over the course of the season, of course, that's absolutely millions. It's 1.6 million a month, which is, almost 20 million a year, right? So it's a heck of a lot of money. It's not going to be that amount of time, though, because it's only the season. So, but yeah, they're paying a lot of money for him, but it's still a player that is a great quality player that you could get. Hopefully, for them would be the idea that he's going to come in and play quite regularly. Whether or not, he does and he stays fit, that's another question. Nice one, guys. Okay, yeah, great stuff. So thank you all for stopping by today. Crikey, I don't know how we've gone over an hour already. I've still got a few more things to chat about, actually. Not that major news, but of course we've gone over all the rest of the stuff. But get your thoughts and opinions in, and I'll have a bit of a Q&A at the end as well. So yeah, also Champions League pots, by the way, just to give you an update. It's not transfer news, but the pots for Champions League. Van der Beek is not going to come up against Ajax. Basically, the draw for the Champions League has taken place, and the two pots have been revealed for the draw, which takes place on October 1st. The Champions League pot 1 is Bayern Munich, Juventus, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, FC Porto, Real Madrid, Sevilla, Zenit St. Petersburg. And pot 2 is Ajax, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, Manchester City, and Manchester United, and Shakhtar Donetsk. So we're in pot 2, so we can't get drawn with basically Ajax or any of those teams that are in the same pot as us there. So quite interesting. It's going to be obviously exciting, United being in the Champions League again this year. But do you really think we're going to do anything in the Champions League this year? I mean, we could do. Stranger things have happened, but we are a considerable way behind. Unless we get this Jadon Sancho character in and we get some quality in this window, we're probably going to be quite a considerable distance off of challenging for that trophy. Never mind the Premier League, but challenging for the Champions League is difficult because you need to have depth in the side. You're playing in all these games, they're coming thick and fast, you need depth in the side to be able to do it. And I just don't think that we've got that depth in most areas in the team. The only area we have got the depth in at the moment is the central midfield. But left wing, we don't have the depth. If Rashford's injured, what, you're going to play James, are you? I mean, what, up against Barca? Sounds shit, doesn't it? What about right wing? Greenwood's injured, is he? Oh, who are we going to play there? Jesse Lingard? Sounds a joke, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, Mata there on the right wing. Why? Don't work. It's bullshit. That's gash. That's the depth we've got there. Oh, Lindelof and Maguire at the back. I mean, that's got depth issues just to begin with without anybody being injured. So we definitely need a centre-back there. If Luke Shaw gets injured, we're stuck with a young Brandon Williams right-footed left-back there who really should probably be Aaron Wan-Bissaka's understudy, not Luke Shaw's. So, look, to me, it is, of course, we've got glaring holes in the side, and it's just absolutely gash. We just need to get some players in, guys. Simple as that. This window is a complete abomination for United. We need to get some players in now. Joke. Nice one, Viking Red. Thank you very much for getting in here, Viking. Have a great day. Appreciate it. Ian Barron. Thank you, Ian Barron, for stopping by as well. Ian Barron, everybody. Jim Joe Bobley. Nicholas Critchlow says, thanks, Pig and Matt, from a crazy newbie. Hey, thank you, Nicholas Critchlow, mate. No, it's great to have you in here, buddy. Obviously, you've been getting involved on Twitter with this channel for a long time anyway, dude. So thank you, Nicholas Critchlow, for coming by and getting involved and becoming a channel member. That's so kind of you, supporting what I'm doing on this show. Thank you very much, Nicholas Critchlow, mate. And as I say, you will be added, of course, to that post-match credits as well, mate. So shout out. Jim Watkins comments, let's not wait as we have the first game coming up against Crystal Palace, and let's not let 2 to 3 games go by without getting Jadon Sancho and plus another 1 or 2 players at the very least. Great comment, Jim Watkins. That is, why is my hair disappearing, man? fuck's sake. Anyway, that's a great comment there, Jim Watkins, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree, mate, because look, why do we want to have ourselves in this situation where we're starting the season with not the right personnel in there? We haven't added any real competition in this side yet. I do like the Donny signing. I think he's going to be a great signing, actually. Really good signing for the money, too. But it shouldn't just all be about the money. It should be about trying to assemble that puzzle. You get the puzzle pieces each window and you assemble that great squad capable of doing some bits. Jadon Sancho is a puzzle piece for the next decade, guys. For the next decade, Jadon Sancho is a puzzle piece. Bloody stupid hair, man. I'm going to have to get this mop chopped off. Smash a 1 in the live chat. Let's have a vote. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think I should just shave this all off. Look, this Latan sort of shit, it's getting all clumpy and stuff at the back now. It's doing my head in, guys. It looks like a bag of shit. Anyway, smash a 1 in the live chat if you think I should get this cut off. Danny with the 1. Mary Homeyard with the 1. G Wolf with the 1. Champ for Show with the 1. Griffo Chas says 2. Jim Watkins says, love your jokes. Thank you, Jim Watkins. So you all think I should get it saved off. Brandon C says, shave it off if Sancho doesn't join. Maybe I should shave it off when Sancho does join. You know what I mean? Like, I will shave my head off when we sign Jadon Sancho. I may die with hair down to the floor, though. I may be dead, looking like cousin It from the Addams Family. That's what's probably going to happen, though, in our board and Woodward. I shouldn't make a bet on shaving it off based on Jadon Sancho signing, that's for sure. Neil Duffin. Neil Duffin says, no way, pig, definitely not. Nice one, Neil. I'm glad you like it, mate. Chip Douglas says, Perisic and Son deadline day panic buys. Wouldn't mind Son, to be fair. Dude, we're not going to get Son. We're not going to get Son from Spurs panic buy deadline day. No way. Don't get me wrong, Chip. I don't mean to shoot you down there. I would love Son. I think Son's one of the best players in the league. There's no way we're getting Son. So everybody thinks I should cut my hair off then. Jim Watkins says, get it cut off in anger if we don't get any player. Chip Douglas says, get a Fellaini perm, pig. Shanawaz Khan, thank you, Shanawaz. He comments, hi, mate, thanks for doing these shows. Just had a massive argument with Holson. You're cool because you listen. Dude, thank you so much there, Shanawaz Khan. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, you know, that's the thing. I like to interact with all you people that watch this video, to be honest, these videos, because, look, at the end of the day, half this video is me interacting with you guys. That's what I like. I like doing the Q&As. I like finding out where the fan base is. I like hearing all your thoughts and opinions. I like giving my opinions too. But I'm not just going to sit here and give you my opinions and nothing else. I want to hear everybody else's opinions too. I try and do as good a job as I can of reading everyone's comments out. Obviously, sometimes these videos are a bit busy, so it's difficult to do it. But really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. Big God Bob, hello. He says, United have cancelled their window cleaner, this transfer window, to save money. Dude, they've cancelled a lot of stuff, haven't they? You know, they're operating on dial-up internet over there in the admin office. Dial-up internet, my friends. Joseph Tidyman, hello there, Joseph. Jimmy Pavlovich says, keep it. Nice one, Jimmy Pavlovich. Liam Hardy says, Pig, thoughts on the Glazers? My thoughts on the Glazers, simply put, are they are a steaming pile of wank at this football club, to be fair. They're a mattress stain on the humanity that is Manchester United. They are a poo stain on the toilet bowl of life. There you go. That's basically what it is, my friends. I feel like they are just a complete mess. I feel like they're detritus. I feel like they're gash. I feel like they're piss. I feel like they're useless. I feel like they don't care about this football club. I feel like they're milking the fans. I feel like they're using this football club as an asset just to create cash for themselves, which they are. I feel like they bought this football club with debt money, which they bloody shouldn't have done. I feel like they're a bunch of baldy-looking melts. I feel like that they've got, their mind on other interests over in America. I feel like they don't really give a shit. I feel like they're sat in an ivory tower in America using this football club as just another asset to milk dry. That's how I feel about them. They should absolutely be left out of the club. They should sell the club. But it's their property. They own it. Blame the FA, blame the English Football League, blame everybody for actually allowing them to buy this club with the debt that they did. Like, it's a disgrace. We went into it yesterday, the chart for the amount of investment that has happened from a chairman compared to the amount of money taken out. And it's no surprise that the Glazers and Manchester United sit at 20th in the league. And that's not to say money spent. They have spent money. That overall table means money that the chairman's actually invested into the football club. So not debt money, actual money, and also spending money. Chelsea were number one on the list. They spent 441 million positive in the last 5 years. Now, United, we were minus 89 million in that 5-year period of chairman investment. So that's how much money's gone out of the club for the chairman. That's fucking disgusting. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the language, but it is. I mean, look, we can't accept this, whether we get Sancho, whether we get these players or not. We can't accept the Glazers at this club anymore. Adil Desai says, disappointed by the Reguilon news. Absolutely there, Adil, mate. Gash-tastic, I want him. Matt Rush has sent me a Thiago update. Thank you, Matty the Rush Meister. Legend, the transfer guru. Follow Matt Rush on Twitter, everybody. He's got some great information, honestly, great sources, and he's just a top lad as well, and a huge passionate red. His Twitter handle is at MattUnited20, MattUTD20, and he comments here. Bayern Munich, sorry, he's not commented. This is a source he sent me. I apologise. So, yeah, Bayern are still expecting an offer from Thiago Alcantara. It all depends. His move to Liverpool is dependent on Jorginho Wijnaldum. So, that's what we're understanding here as a source. Quite interesting there, matey. But yeah, Thiago, look, it's still, that's another one. I don't know about that one. I don't feel like we're going to get Thiago either, guys. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I just feel like he's using us to leverage a move to Liverpool. And that's the more likely destination for him to go to. I think even if Wijnaldum doesn't go to Barca, Klopp's still going to be interested in bringing Thiago in to have a bit more depth and quality there. And do you know what? If they kept Wijnaldum, even if they didn't keep Wijnaldum and they got Thiago in, they would have an absolutely brilliant team again, wouldn't they? Not that, I say again, they're the champions, but you know what I mean? Like on paper, their midfield is the only area that you could say could do with improvement, really, in my opinion. And if they do that, then they're going to have a brilliant squad, and it's a nightmare. So we can't accept that. Lyle Wilson comments, do you think Solskjaer can play Pogba, Bruno and Van der Beek? I do actually, yes, I do. Based on the game I saw against Aston Villa the other day, where Donny van der Beek played alongside McTominay, essentially got a couple of box-to-box midfielders there, and that seemed to work okay. Don't get me wrong, we lost that game, but it wasn't really down to them guys or anything. That was just a piss-poor counter and defending by United, really. But yeah, I think so. I think what you could do as well is you could just have like Donny van der Beek as that deep lying playmaker. You could have Pogba as the box-to-box midfielder and Bruno as your, further advanced creative player. So you're basically playing like a 4-1-2-3-1 with a holding midfielder who's essentially like a Paul Scholes, Pirlo type deep lying playmaker. So he's not the most defensive, but he's still good defensively, but he's just a playmaker. He's a Pirlo type. Now, I'm not saying he's Pirlo or Scholes, but I'm saying he could do that role for us, maybe. Spraying the balls out, setting everything up, getting Pogba away, getting Bruno away, getting the wingers away. All this sort of stuff, I think Donny van der Beek can do very, very well. His creation and vision, it was a joy to behold the other day against Villa. He created 2 or 3 goal-scoring opportunities for us. We didn't take them, but his creation and vision was brilliant. I think he can pretty much do it all, really. He seems quite good in the tackle. He was very, very good at closing players down, harassing players, just a good sort of player, buzzing around in front of the back line there, getting forward, creating chances. Very good box-to-box midfielder, I think. But he could do that deep line playmaker role for sure. Other people like Rio Ferdinand think that if you're going to accommodate these 3 players into the side, then Pogba should be the holding deep line playmaker player for us, the defensive-minded midfielder, if you like. I disagree with that. I don't think Pogba's best there at all, but that's what Rio was saying, maybe to accommodate all these players. That was what would be the best thing to do. Hunar says, Pig, call me deluded, but I think we will sign Sancho and either Thiago or Tellez. Mate, Thiago would be a brilliant signing, it would. I know I said I think he's going to Liverpool, but you never know. If United could stump up the cash and convince him to come here, that would be a real coup for us. I'd forget all about Jadon Sancho, to be honest, as long as we got Thiago and Tellez and maybe a centre-back. If we got Thiago, Tellez, a centre-back and Van der Beek, that's a great window for us, guys. Never mind Sancho. Forget the Sancho deal. It's crazy. If that happens, great, but forget that for the moment. If that didn't happen and we got Thiago and those other guys, that's a sick-ass deal, isn't it? That's a good window. Matt Rush says Liverpool need to sell before they buy. Absolutely. There are some skint scousers up there. So you're right about that. They do need to sell before they buy. And it's looking like Wijnaldum might be the man to go out to Barcelona at this stage. If Wijnaldum does move to Barca, I do expect Liverpool to pretty much get Thiago, because they will be prepared to pay him a little bit more. So they've got that player in there with Wijnaldum going out. And of course, he's a great player, so I do think they would get him in. I would love to get Thiago, by the way. I would love it. I would love it if we got Thiago, because he is just a seasoned, experienced player, something that United don't have too much of right now. We've got great youth, but we need great young players. We need great experienced players to help the young players. Champ for Show agrees with Hunar. Honey Badger, how you doing there, Honey Badger? Very vicious, aren't they, Honey Badgers? I don't know a great deal about them, other than that they're very vicious. Anyway, he says, if we aren't bringing more in, then why can't we take our own business, like sell off Smalling, Dalot, Romero, Rojo, etc., and have Pogba sign a new deal before the season starts? No excuse for it. Good shout, Honey Badger. I think United, we would have to make some losses in order to get rid of those players, because we'd have to pay them a little bit to play for other teams, I think. Realistically, nobody's, I mean, maybe not Dalot and Romero. I think these guys are affordable for most teams, but there's a reason why Villa got, Martinez, didn't they, off Arsenal instead of Romero in the end? It's simply because I guess the valuation in the deal he was on isn't really there for them. So Romero's on, I think, 80 grand a week to be a backup keeper. It's a lot of money for a backup keeper. Smalling's on a big amount of money, but Roma hopefully will be coming in to get him. Dalot, look, there was an offer from Lille earlier on in this transfer window, by the way, lads and lasses, which was rejected by United for not being enough. United are understood to want all the money back that we paid for him, around about 22 million euros. If a club comes in, you might see that deal done, because he's not on a huge amount of money, Dalot. So you might see that deal done, but that all's dependent on whether a club values him enough to come in and pay that money, which, you know, United, yeah, he's not really done exactly anything really yet. Rojo, though, yeah, Estudiantes may be interested. We've got to get something, a loan, a season-long loan, get him off the books at least then. If nobody wants to come in and pay these players permanently because of the huge contracts that they're on, then at least get them out on loan. Jesse Lingard, 120 grand a week, useless. Phil Jones, £130,000 a week Phil Jones is on. What a joke. What a joke that is, that Phil Jones is on £130,000 a week. What a joke when you're that standard of player that he is. Fucking farcical, isn't it? Farcical, really. No other bastard team's going to come in and pay that for him. So you can't really blame the teams not wanting to queue up for Phil Jones. If Phil Jones was on 40 grand a week, there'd be teams queuing up for him, honestly, because he is a good player. He's just not United standard. But for a team like Newcastle, or a team like Villa, or a team like West Ham, or somebody down there, then it's actually a really good sign. It makes a lot of sense. He would be a good player for them, I think. But for United, he's nowhere near the standard, and because he's on so much money, it just completely scuppers any sort of a deal for a potential club coming in to buy him, unless United are prepared to pay Phil Jones 20, 30, 40 grand a week until the remainder of his contract to go and play for an opposition team in the league. I think that's the biggest reason we haven't got rid of more players in this window. It's not because Ollie doesn't want to get rid of the deadwood. It's because nobody wants our deadwood for the amount of money that they're paid. Aaron H says shit tons of money there. Absolutely, you're right though. If you did get those players off the books, think about it. If you sold, I don't know, Lingard for 8 million to Inter and you're saving 120 grand a week. You sell Phil Jones for 5 million to Newcastle, you're saving 130 grand a week. You sell Andreas Pereira to Fenerbahce and you get a bit of money and you're getting rid of 80 grand a week. You know, you get rid of all these deadwood players. All of a sudden, you have generated enough cash from the transfer fees to buy a really good player, and you've generated enough savings on the wage structure for 2 or 3 really good players. So, yeah, I fully agree with you. That should be a big key for our window this year, is getting rid of the deadwood. But unfortunately, I just think they're on a heck of a lot of money, and nobody values that deal, my friends. Nobody values Phil Jones. Nobody wants Phil Jones turning up in his pink Lamborghini collecting 130 grand a week. We're the only mugs that pay him that. Poundcake OG, he says, why don't SE just terminate contracts like Juventus have done for Pirlo? This board ain't backing anyone but the owner's pockets. Every time we get close to the top, the board messes it up. Good comment, Poundcake OG. I think you're right on that one. We should do a lot more, and we all know about the board being complete milkers. Monish Yadav, what's going on? Jim Watkins says, I love Ollie. It's not his fault. His hands are tied. Spot on. Ollie can't come out now and say, do you know what? These owners are a joke. They're not supporting me. They're not doing it. Mourinho did that a little bit before he got sacked. And what happened? He got sacked. Solskjaer is in between a rock and a hard place. This isn't a great situation to be in as a United manager right now. He's not getting the full back in. Everyone knows that. And he can't really do too much about it, to be fair. Like, he can't throw his toys out the pram. They're just gonna deal with him, if that's the case, you know? I saw that Neil Duff and a guy on Twitter started a GoFundMe page to buy Sancho. He's raised 135 quid. Bloody hell, I can't believe people actually donated to that. That's what sickens me about this club, though. We shouldn't have to create GoFundMe pages and have a whip round to get a player in. They should be getting the players in anyway. No worries, Honey Badger. Zafri Zaney says Lingard is a clown. JP, what's going on? J to the Pizzle. He says Phil Jones gives me bitty. Bitty. Brandon C says emotional moments. Nice one, Brandon C. Matt Rush, just search my name on Twitter, Absalom. Yeah, or you can go to Matt United 20. Kayam says, Gaz, stop trying typing in caps. Yeah, just by the way, everyone, some people seem to be doing that. I can see Gaz Elliott, you are typing in caps there, my friend. Obviously, you're a legend of the channel. But Just write them in normal letters that way, because I'm just going to make I've already done it a couple of times because they are bigger, but I'm just going to make a note now not to read out caps lock comments. So just because it does annoy a couple of people, evidently. Anyway, Smith89123 says, Ollie is a yes man. Well, look, he does have to be a yes man to a degree for these Glazers. He does. You're never going to get anywhere at this football club in management by criticising the owners, criticising the chairman or the chief exec and the business that they're doing in this window. If Ollie comes out now and says anything other than we're still trying to get players, we want to get players, we're still trying to get... If he says, you know what, it's a bit of a joke, I've been left up shit creek without a paddle here, we need some reinforcements, and the board are letting me down, he's going to get sacked soon. Next few bad fixtures that go against us, he'll get sacked. So he can't do stuff like that. It's a rock and a hard place, guys. You can't blame Ollie for that situation. Any other manager would be exactly the same. They have to be a yes man. Jose wasn't a yes man at the end. He got sacked. Absalom Williams. Kayam says caps for melters, no offence. There you go. I'm not going to read any caps locks and ones out, so there you go. Jim Joe Bobby says, Matt Rush, do you follow that one? Don't know what that is. Ryan Berber says, I'm making an OnlyFans to pay for Sancho. Oh God, good luck with that one. Aaron Homard says, maybe I should do that actually, like in all seriousness. Maybe generate a few quid. People might like to see me in a piggy thong or something, you know what I mean? Somebody will pay for that. Somebody out there. Somebody out there who's trying to get like a nightmare. That's what they want. They want to have a nightmare that evening. Anyway, Gaz Elliott says Ollie should walk. No one would blame him. He wants to improve this guy. He's done a great job, Ollie. Look, he's done a brilliant job. He's in Man United through and through, that man. He wants to see United succeed just like anybody else. He really does. And if he continues as he has done, he will be taking us, guiding us on those steps towards where we should be, which is challenging again. You can't deny Ollie's done a great job over the last year at this football club. Come the end of the season, bear in mind we didn't have the squad at the start of last season to get where we finished. No way. To get us to where we finished, third, brilliant. Even if we did lose those semi-finals and stuff like that, he's had an amazing season for me. Brilliant stuff. Exceeded expectations. Definitely went above and beyond in terms of the players and the squad that we had. I think he's performed admirably. I've got faith in him. I've got serious faith in him. Hey, the United Way. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. He says, if we get 105 million, would we own Sancho like a Tellez 2.0? Oh, no, we don't want that. Do we? Imagine that. Oh, right, if we put the money in, yeah, I mean, that would suck, wouldn't it, if there was, if we had a player that was owned, like, what was it, like part ownership with Tellez? Another club owned part of his contract, or the agent owned it, or some bullshit. That was sickening. Basically, at the end of his contract, they came to us, Tevez' agent, was it that Jerubichian guy, Kia Biachubalubichian, or whatever his name is? I think they came to us after that and asked for £25 million. £25 million to sign a new deal at United for a player that was already at United. So Fergie said, do one, my friend. He said, do one. G, hello to you, share the pain, MBG, I feel you, buddy. He says, I'm so pissed off, pig. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you're pissed off with this window, lads and lasses. Right, okay. Hello to you too. I do not read Arabic writing, I'm afraid, so I don't know what your name is, but hello to you, though. Hello to you. I don't understand what your name says, though, but definitely hello to you, buddy. Jose's leather jacket comments, Ollie got this squad third, having a better squad than Jose at the same time. What does that mean? I mean, Jose's got a... Oh, you mean, yeah, Jose having a better squad. To be fair, yeah, Jose's starting 11 with people like Son and Kane and their back line. I think it is better than United's. Maybe not now with Fernandes coming in, and it's similar, very similar. Prakavar Das comments, who do you think we are signing next, or is it transfer window wrapped up this season? We've got to sign players, mate. Look, I agree with Matt Rush's super chat earlier, that comment that he made where he said, look, there will be massive backlash from the fans if the Glazers don't buy players now. So even if it's not Sancho, we will get some players. I think that's fair. We'll definitely get some players. Whether it's shopping around in the bargain bin and we get Badiashile for 20 mil and Alex Tellez for 20 mil and Thiago at the end for 30 mil and nick him off the Scousers. That would be, I think that's the sort of thing we have to do. If we can't get Sancho, we have to get other players because there'll be so much backlash from the fan base. Everyone will be so disheartened with them, and everyone hates them already. So it'll just get the pressure cooker of United's hate for the Glazers will just boil over, and they don't want that. They don't want that. They've already seen that. They don't want any more of that. They'll definitely buy some players. They will. This is not the end of the window for United. If this window ends right now, then really fooled the Glazers entirely. Because it's sickening if that happened. I don't see that happen though. We have to get players in. Chaiman says Jose is toxic. I agree. Jose's leather jacket says, I'm saying Jose got a poor United squad second over Ollie's better squad. Ollie can't be trusted. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, he did. He did a great job, actually. First season, he won the treble, didn't he? Charity Shield, Europa League, and League Cup. Mickey Mouse treble. Then the next season, he finished second behind a really good City side, wasn't it? So yeah, he did good. He did good, but the style of football was horrible, my friend. And it doesn't really matter ultimately if you nosedive in your third season after spending hundreds of millions of pounds, which Jose did. Jose's the man who got Sanchez and these guys in. He spent hundreds of millions of pounds, and he nosedived in the last season. You can't do that. You can't do that. He was a shit. He's not the right fit for United anyway. The style of football that he played was gash. Jose did a good job in terms of on paper. He won us trophies, so he has done a better job than Ollie has done in his first 2 seasons. I accept that, like as on paper, because he won those few trophies in the first season. He got a second in the league. So I understand what you're saying. I can't really disagree with you, but I don't think Ollie is poor. I think Ollie can be trusted. Look what he's done this year. He came in after Mourinho had a really good boost to the side as well. That's what got him the job in from an interim capacity. And then he's gone on this season, and he's got us third. He's developed us. He's progressed us. The players look better. Never mind the position. I don't actually care about the position in the league, guys. I'm talking about we have progressed as a team. Whether it's the style, which has progressed, which has improved, which we have seen a lot of great goals scored this season by United. Lots of great sweeping attacks, counter-attacks, classic United stuff. Brilliant little interplay between Rashi, Bruno, Martial. Loads of lovely goals. Like some of the nicest goals we've seen for a long time being scored consistently out of the season. It's not just about the goals, though. It's about winning, and I get that. But he's also done that too. He's also got us third. He's also improved us and improved our situation at this football club since he's been in there. So I think he's done a brilliant job, and I won't hear any criticism about Ollie at this stage. No way. He hasn't had the hundreds of millions that Jose had. He hasn't had the time that Jose had. Jose had a shit time at United come the end of it. Yeah, it was good at the start, but he had a shit time at the end. And he's just boring, man. And that style of football was dreary. Like, I'm so glad we don't have Jose Mourinho at this club anymore playing that style of football. It was horrible, guys. Look at Spurs this season. They're going to start playing that shit. Trust me. You just watch. Jose's a one-dimensional old dinosaur. He's also one of the greatest managers to ever manage in this game. So let's give him the respect he deserves. To be fair, he's done it in multiple different teams, multiple times. Trebles with Inter. Porto winning the Champions League, that's an incredible achievement. Real Madrid, he's done the business for everyone. Chelsea, he's obviously a ridiculously good manager, so we have to give him the credit. But I just think football's moved on. With the Guardiolas, the Klopps of this world, they've progressed this type of new attacking football and this progressive football, whereas Jose's defensive style just doesn't hold up these days. He can't necessarily do what Inter did to Barca back in the day and all that anymore. You can't do that so much. I think people have figured out how to get the better of a Jose Mourinho park the bus system. Adam Simon, thank you, Adam. He comments, net spend every year is about 60 million. We won't spend money until we know our net spend will end up at 60 million by selling players. 35 million spent on Van der Beek means we have a 25 million until we sell. Very good point, Adam Simon, mate. Yeah, they seem to not want to spend too much money without generating the money, getting them in. Of course, Sanchez went, then they got Van der Beek. That's 500k a week saved off the budget there, 20 million a year. So yeah, I hear you. Spurs comments, I think Sancho is one of the most overrated players of all time. Really? I don't think he's overrated. I think he's going to be a brilliant player, but I do think that he's overpriced. I'll give you that. Nicholas Critchlow says hashtag Ollie in. Get your hashtags in, guys. Get your hashtag Ollie ins in. Let's give Ollie the support now. Give Ollie the support. Don't blame Ollie for this window. It's nothing to do with Ollie. Don't blame Ollie for this window. He wants the players. He's got his targets. Yes, the United way. He says in Ollie we trust. Good man. Jim Joe Bobby says, let's judge Jose after he's finished killing Tottenham, eh? Facts. He will probably have a mare with Tottenham. I don't see Tottenham getting into the top 4 this year. I think they'll struggle to get top 6 again. I really do. Because of the negativity shrouding the club. We'll see. I mean, they have got great players there, but Jose's just too negative. Jim Watkins says, and so now the board have parked the bus on signings too, as it seems the way at the moment. Yeah, seems like maybe the Sancho deal was falling down. Hey, Matt Rush, you're a legend, mate. Everybody get your thumbs up on the live, in the live chat. Get your thumbs up emoji and also stick a thumbs up on the video. But for Matt Rush, our transfer guru, by the way, what a legend Matty Rushmeister. Have a great day. He's off ski, but we'll catch up with you later, Matt Rush. Thank you, buddy. Kayam says, Ollie in, Glazers out, Woodward out. Good lad, Kayam. You spot on there, my friend. That's how it should be. Prakavar Das says, in Ollie we trust. Nice one. Hey, Lynette Giggs. How you doing, Lynette? She says, Pig, we are meeting Spurs very soon. Can you imagine Kane, Bale and Son? That front line. Oh, that is horrible, actually, Lynette. It does sound potent, doesn't it? It does sound like a front line which would be up there with the very best if they're all on form and performing and Jose's team's actually performing. So, yeah. I know October's going to be a horrible month for us, Lynette. We've got to get some players in. Absalom Williams, nice one. He's followed you, followed back. He says, Jesse Lingard with the thumbs down for Matt Rush. That is harsh, Jesse. That's harsh, bro. Is that because you don't want all this transfer stuff coming in so you might be sold? Hey, Mikhail Doom, he says, shaved pig. Thank you, Mikhail, mate. Yeah, I had a little cheeky shave. I haven't had any breakfast yet today, Jose's leather jacket. No. I've only not been up that long. Honestly, I haven't been up that long. You've probably seen me going from like having big bags under my eyes to slowly my face sort of falling into place throughout the video. Because I wasn't up that long before this video started. I couldn't sleep last night at all. Lyle Wilson, thank you. G Wolf United, Honey Badger, Jesse Lingard, Jim Watkins. Bow Ray says, looking good today, pig. Thank you, Bow Ray. Appreciate it, dude. Jarvis Cock and Liam Hardy. Dave Boz with the thumbs up. Nice one, guys. Hey, do you know what? I'm going to pretty much wrap this video up here, guys, because I've just realised I've been rambling for an hour and 37 minutes, and that is ridiculous, to be honest. So I don't know how I've done that. I don't know how we managed to go through all these, all that time so quickly. It doesn't feel like an hour and 37 minutes at all. I would have thought we would have just gone over an hour now, but either way, it is an hour and 37 minutes or something like that we've been chatting COD here, guys. Hour and 34 minutes it is, sorry. Anyway, so that's going to be it, guys. But before you go, please do us a massive favour and smash that like button on the video. Give it a cheeky little thumbs up rating. That will help this channel grow. It'll help the stream out loads. So please do chuck a little like on it if you haven't done so. Also, you can follow the website, flyandpigunited.com, and check out the social media channels. All the links are in the description. Search Fly and Pig United on every platform as well. So just thank you so much to you all for stopping by and getting involved with this video. To give you a little summary, Reguilon is going to Spurs. What an absolute shithouse mare that is. I don't know why he would even want to go to Spurs over United. I don't think it's him. It's the club's not being able to reach an agreement. And the fact that Woodward Pratt and our owners are not capable of bending at all to accommodate a good player in the short term. Okay, fair enough. I understand it. They don't want to do business like that. They want to get permanent deals done, and that's it. And that's it. Rigid. But can we not just have a little bit of accommodation at this moment in time where we need players in the squad? If we end up getting Tellez on a permanent deal, though, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So, Reguilon, do one. You want to go play in the Europa League with that mediocre meltbag Mickey Mouse merchant, Jose Mourinho, then you do that. Fine. And then, of course, Gareth Bale potentially going there as well. That sucks. It would be obviously a very good, potent forward line, like Lynette said. If they had Bale, Son, and Kane, it could do bits for them this season. It's a player that I would have liked as a 5th or 6th option. Still loads of players that United should try and pursue before Gareth Bale. He's an overrated, overpaid prima donna. No, he's not overrated. I actually think he's class. I just think he's had a bit of a raw deal at Spurs, Real last season or two. That's my opinion. Anyway, guys, so yeah, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Let me just see who's in here at the end if I haven't shouted or responded back to you. Fred Canham, thank you, says usual standard pig. Great show. Fred Canham, thank you, my friend. You're a top lad. Jonathan Briffer as well. Appreciate you getting in here. Thank you, Nicholas Critchlow, for becoming a new member of the channel throughout this stream as well. Legend. Jim Watkins, Aaron H, Legend, Brandon C, Lynette Giggs, The United Way, JP, Legion says, pig up the bacon wagon. Nice one, JP. Jimmy Pavlovich, love it, mate. Great for getting in here. Thank you. He says, thanks, mate. It's been entertaining. Bye for now, everyone. Just before you go, if you're not subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel and click the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when we go live and we post on this channel and stuff like that. Also, check the social media channels for when we post and go live on this channel too. On Twitter, I always post on Twitter when I'm about to go live. So you can follow on Twitter at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Shanawaz Khan, G Wolf United, thank you lads. John O'Denton, Tafster 9, Ryan Burbspin 9, Karen Devishankar, Nicholas Critchlow, Josh Healy, Lyle Wilson, James, Gaz Elliott, Big God Bob, Robert Bell, Champs for Show, Ryan Burbspin 9, Brandon C, JP, everybody. I'm going to leave it there, but subscribe, like, comment, get your thoughts in after this video as well about Reguilon, about anything we've discussed in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everyone. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United saying stay classy, have a good one. And United, sort your bloody lives out now. Come on, Woodward. We're going to shine that bald head if you don't get some bloody players in soon. See you later on, lads and lasses. This is the Pig. Nice one, guys. I can't believe the length of this show. Like, I do just talk COD, guys. That is mad. I didn't even realise we'd gone that long, but we have gone long. So thank you for everybody that stayed in here and watched this thing, because it's a long-ass video. Thank you so much. I am doing another show tonight, John O'Denton, absolutely every single night at 9:30 p.m. at the moment. We're doing another transfer roundup. At this moment in time, there seems to be quite a few little more tidbits and information that seems to come out quite regularly for United. So I'm sure there will be another show tonight at 9:30. Click the bell icon, subscribe if you're new, and keep an eye out at 9:30 on this channel, guys. But this is just the Patreon credits to say thank you so much to all the patrons that support this channel on Patreon, and also tier 2 channel members like Nicholas Critchlow, who's just joined, will be added to this list also, but these are all the names of people that support this channel in that way. Thank you so much for that, guys. You don't have to do that. This is all free, but thank you to you guys that do. The best thing you can do to support this show, smash the like and give it a share around if you want, and just interact with the channel. Legends, guys, have a great day, have a great evening, I should say, and I'll see you later on 9:30 for another transfer runner, hopefully with a bit more good news instead of cash. This is the Pig. See you later.